if you have a blanket, have one fold in it, so it's kind of in a smaller version of itself. And then you're going to do a tri-fold with the blanket. So I'm going to kind of do it like an accordion, fold it, and then fold it. So now I have like a long, thinner prop here. And once you have that, so you've got a nice tri-fold, or maybe if you have a towel, you can kind of roll it up to make it thicker. You're going to place it in the middle of your mat. Bo, you're going to sit right here. And then you're going to sit on the end of your blanket. And then you can slowly start to lower yourself down. And just pause here, have your knees bent. Okay, so today's theme is all about staying light in heavy times. So we're going to start with a little heart opening. All right, so you're down on your blanket or towel. Okay, knees are bent. And then what I want you to do is use your hands to hold the edges of the towel and then walk yourself off. So your head and shoulders are off the towel. Walk yourself back. Okay, and once you get your head and shoulders off of your prop, you can start to deepen the breath, let your eyes close. What we're looking to do here, so your upper back where we tend to hold a lot of stress and or tension, our trapezius, it's in the nice shape of like a triangle or diamond. What we're trying to do here is release any tension or stress in the upper back. So make sure you've walked yourself far enough off of your blanket that you feel a little traction happening. All right, so the tops of the shoulders and the back of the head are on your mat. Okay, and just allow the eyes to close. If you want to straighten your legs, you can straighten your legs. Just listen to your back. Okay, so today's theme, staying light during heavy times. A lot of times we're carrying this backpack of stress. So today's class, we're really going to be focusing on releasing that backpack that you're wearing of responsibilities or worries. Maybe your backpack is filled with lots of different things. All right, and we'll just start to take them out one at a time here. And it might take a while, it might take the whole practice, it might take you getting on your mat again this week to start to feel the heaviness lift. All right, so we're just going to start here on our back. Start to bring awareness into your body using the blanket or towel as feedback. So notice where the spine touches the blanket. Notice where the spine doesn't touch the blanket. And try to send your breath to those spaces. And we'll just be here for 5 more rounds of breath. Just allowing the back of the skull to really melt into the floor. Noticing the chest opening up a little bit here. Maybe even walking the skull a little bit further away from the body. And take your time to start to bend your knees. All you're going to do to come off your blanket is just roll to the side, remove whatever you were under, and then come back to your back. Knees bent, arms down beside you. And just take a couple deep breaths here, filling up the entire body, letting it go as you exhale. We're going to be moving into a dynamic bridge. So on an inhale, you're going to lift your hips high to the sky, taking your time to get there, and then as you exhale, bring your hips back down. Do that 4 times with your breath. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Good. Taking your time, maybe lifting a little bit higher onto the shoulders. Then releasing. We'll hold this last bridge at the top. So inhale, find your bridge pose. And then what I want you to do is grab a hold of your mat. All right, so grab the outer edges of your mat and start to spin your arms open. So they're spinning out to the sides. All right, keep rooting down into your feet and shoulders. Be gentle, we've just started. But see if you can use your mat to lift your hips higher. Really pull on that mat. Good, soften the face. And then as you exhale, slowly start to lower down, taking your time. And then we'll hug our knees in towards our chest. Give yourself a nice hug. And then release your arms out into a T. Let your knees fall over to the left side. Taking our first twist here. And as we're in this twist, let's focus on our shoulders, our upper back. Try to get both shoulders down on the floor. Maybe even tuck your knees up a little bit more towards that left hand. Really breathing into the spaces that are open. All right, so the chest is open. Taking your time as you inhale, knees come back to center. As you exhale, allow them to drop to the right side. Gazing towards the left hand. And really working that left shoulder blade under, kind of tucking it under as if someone was coming behind you, kind of lifting it up, moving the shoulder away from the ears. On your next inhale, come back to center, knees into chest, and then take what you need. We're gonna find a tabletop. So if you wanna rock and roll a couple times, go for it. If you want to just turn to the side and press up to table, you can go there as well. So focusing on our upper back here for our cat-cow. So normally we do a lot of arching and rounding through the entire spine. Today I just want you to focus on keeping the tailbone pointed back and just allowing the movement be in the upper spine. So as you inhale, just start to lift the heart and the gaze. Just taking your time, letting the shoulders release away from the ears. And then as you exhale, slowly press into your hands, round through the upper back. Keep reaching your tailbone straight behind you. Inhale, finding that cow pose just through the thoracic spine. Exhale, finding your cat. And these movements may be much smaller than your normal cat-cow, and that's okay. Just taking your time to breathe deep. And then slowly releasing it each time. We'll take 2 more in each direction. Exhale, release. From that neutral tabletop, walk your hands a little bit forward. All right, spread your fingers really wide. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. All right, so in our downward dog, we'll walk it out a couple times, just bending one knee at a time. Keep reaching the hips up towards the sky. All right, and start to settle into your down dog. So a lot of times we talk about what we want in our down dog, but let's talk about what we don't want. All right, so start to bend your elbows. All right, just a little bit. And notice if your elbows are pointing out to the side. See if you can wrap your upper arms and point your elbows back towards the heels. Now straighten your arms, nice and strong arms. Let your chest fall. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Stay strong in this downward facing dog. Take one more deep breath in and then slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Finding a forward fold. Just letting the head release. We've got a nice bend in our knees here. And then we'll find a rag doll, grabbing opposite elbows, maybe gently rocking side to side. Just Just letting all the worry and stress melt away. And then release your bind. Slowly start to come up. One vertebrae at a time, letting your head be the last thing up. There's a magical moment where you get that nice little stretch as you stack the shoulders and the ears. Take 2 deep breaths here, standing tall. And then we'll just walk to the front of our mat, coming into our mountain pose. All right, so feet are hip distance, and they're parallel to the outer edges of your mat. And then slowly start to create space between each vertebrae. So we're really pressing down to grow tall. Roll your outer arms, opening the chest. And then on your next inhale, reach your arms overhead, really lifting the ribs away from the floor. And then as you exhale, dive forward. You're at home, so use a lot of space. Inhale, halfway lift, pausing in that flat back. And thinking of this as a little back bend here as well through that upper spine. So draw your shoulders away from your ears. Spread your collarbones. See how long or how much space you can create between ears and shoulders. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. We're going to lower that left knee, and then inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Taking your time here. Press your palms together. All right, really press, press, press. And then slowly bend your elbows, hooking your thumbs on the back of the skull here. All right, so finding a little rest with the back of the head. And then as you inhale, start to lift up through the heart. All right, lift up through the upper arms. And see if you can lift the back of the ribs away from the floor. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands, find your plank position. All right, pausing in your plank. You've got the option to lower to your knees for your chaturanga or just lower halfway on your toes. Pausing here, inhale, upward facing. Press the tops of the feet down. Strong arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, do what you need. Looking to have those arms nice and straight. On your inhale, we'll lift our left leg. As you exhale, step your left foot forward. Repeating on the other side. So we'll release the right knee down. We'll inhale, reach the arms high to the sky. Press your palms together. Really press, press, press. And then bend your elbows. Hooking that thumb on the back of the skull. Then as you inhale, start to lift up. Lift the front ribs up. Lift the back ribs up. Soften the brow. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, hands plant. We'll flow through if you want a vinyasa, or you can just step back to downward facing dog, your choice. Chaturanga, upward facing, exhale, downward facing. Still trying to send that breath to spaces in the back body that might feel a little tight. And then we'll inhale, gaze towards our hands. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Strong legs, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Repeating here. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale as you dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank or hop to chaturanga, your choice. I can step to plank, lower my knees, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. All those are your option. If you want to take them, you can. Good. Keep gazing back towards your inner thighs, just letting the spine hang. Then as you inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale as you step it between your hands. Release that knee. Inhale, arms reach up. Press your palms together. Bend those elbows. Just resting your head. And then lifting up through that heart. Exhale to plant your hands. Same option, step back, downward dog, or flow through. Maybe the right leg stays lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale as we step it between our hands. Release that right knee. Linking breath with movement. Exhale, bend those elbows. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, plant the hands. Flowing through or meeting in downward dog. So in your down dog, bend your knees a lot. Really get out of the hamstrings. Focus more on your upper back. Really broadening across your shoulders. And then separate your collarbones. Broaden across the front side of the body. Inhale, gaze towards your hands, bend your knees. Walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Press your feet down. If you want a back bend, take it. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, setting up for Utkatasana, chair pose. Bringing the feet together. All right, maybe you have the big toes touching with the heels out, or maybe you have like space between both feet, whatever feels best in your body. Inhale, sit nice and low, find your chair. All right, so we're looking to have our heart higher than our hips here, okay? I'm working my shoulders down my back, away from the ears, okay? Start to shift over into the right foot. You're gonna wrap your left leg around your right, all right? Reach your arms out. Wrap that right around the left, finding eagle. All right, if that bind's not happening, you can just reach for opposite elbows, okay? And try to lift your elbows so they're shoulder height, and then work those forearms away. Still focusing on that upper back. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly start to round, bring those elbows towards the knee. Hold here. Tuck your chin into your chest. Squeeze your inner thighs. Remember to practice laughing if you fall out. Stay light no matter what here. Take your time as you inhale, rise back up. Releasing your arms, release your legs, come back to your chair. Good, revisit your breath. Press your feet down, inhale, shoot up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Repeating the other side, inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Holding here for 5 rounds of breath. See how low you can get. And when we transition into eagle, try to stay this low. Squeeze your outer hips. You're gonna wrap that right leg around the left. Keep squeezing your hips. Arms reach out. Wrap that left around the right. Take your time. Soften your gaze, soften your face. Take a big breath in as you exhale. Slowly start to round through the upper back. Bring your elbows and knees to touch if you can. Holding here. Then on your inhale, slowly coming back up into your eagle. Releasing your arms, release your leg, Utkatasana, chair pose. Breathe in, breathe out. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, we're flowing through your option. If you want a crow here, inhale, halfway lift. Take a crow. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or hop back. Plank to chaturanga. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Just take your time, whatever you're doing. Use your full breath in and out. On your next inhale, lift your right leg. As you exhale, step it between your hands. Inhale, rising up, crescent lunge. Just taking your time to get here. Really finding strength in both legs. Lifting the front of the pelvis up. We'll slowly bring our fists together in front of our chest. All right, we're going to be going into Warrior Two here. So we'll open our chest, rotate those feet, and then we'll extend our arms out. So we're heel to arch with our alignment. That right knee is bent. Relax the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in. Deepen that bend in the right knee as you exhale. On your next inhale, reach that right arm forward. Then as you exhale, slowly find extended side angle. So maybe I use that right arm to the thigh. Maybe I release my right arm to the floor. Wherever you are, keep wrapping that left upper arm back. Keep opening the chest. On your next inhale, come back to Warrior Two. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands. Option to flow through here. Maybe the right leg is lifted. Or step back, downward facing dog. Taking a nice deep breath in. Letting it go, exhale. As you inhale, lift your left leg. As you exhale, slowly step it between your hands, taking your time to find that crescent lunge on the left side. All right, keep reaching the fingers up as you soften the shoulders. Taking your time to bring those fists in front of the chest, opening up to your Warrior Two on the left. Reaching the arms out. Just letting that left knee bend. Crown of the head extends towards the sky. Really trying to keep the front of the chest and the upper back open. As you inhale, reach that left arm. As you exhale, slowly find extended side angle. Same option. You can use the forearm to the thigh, or maybe release your hand to the floor inside or outside that left foot. Take one more deep breath in. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. As you inhale, come back, Warrior Two. As you exhale, cartwheel those hands. Find your flow or downward facing dog. Just reconnect. On your inhale, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. All right, so I think a lot more about that left hip crease than I do the leg. So reach back with your left hip crease, lengthening both side body. And then as you inhale, knee to nose, shift forward. Exhale, extend. Inhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Squeeze your heel to your glute. Gently release your right foot down. Okay, we're in that lunge position. Soften your shoulders. Left foot is going to come halfway. We're going to be going into a pyramid. So I'm going to step half the distance. All right. Maybe I'm heel to heel with the left toes turned out slightly. From here, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up slowly. Okay, so in pyramid, I'm looking for hips square. So if I need to widen my stance, go for it. We're going to take reverse namaste or knuckles together behind your back. All right, so if you don't have reverse namaste, this guy behind your back, go for knuckles. Okay, and then open your chest again. Press your feet down. Inhale, lift your heart. Slowly as you exhale, hinge at the right hip crease. Just come to a flat back. All right. I'm trying to open my chest still. Keep working both feet down into the floor. And then instead of thinking nose to knee, see if you can release your chest down to your ankle. Breathe here. Keeping that bind, reverse namaste, or keep working your knuckles together. Take a deep breath in. Release your hands down, framing that right foot. We're going into standing split. Shift forward, lift that left leg as high as you can. Good. Try to spread your toes. Lift your foot even higher. Still try to bring your heart to the floor. If you want to play with some balance, maybe I grab one hand to the ankle. Maybe I go both hands to the ankle. Staying light, being playful. Stay in that standing split. And now try to square your hip. So I'm going to drop that left leg a lot. Square my left hip. Take your time, come down into a lunge. Left foot finds the floor. Good job. Take a nice deep breath in. Plant your hands. Option to flow through or downward facing dog, step back. Your choice. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your inhale, lift your left leg, three-legged dog. As you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift it high. Exhale, knee to nose, hold. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze that heel to the glute. Gently place your left foot down. Soften your shoulders. Right foot steps half the distance. Press your feet down. Hands to your hips. Elbows draw together as you rise. All right, finding that reverse namaste or knuckles to knuckles behind your back. As you inhale, start to lift your chest. As you exhale, hinge at that left hip crease. Keep working left hip back as you come to a flat back. So flat back means shoulders and hips are at the same height. Okay? Big breath in. As you exhale, let that heart melt towards the left ankle. Keep your bind behind your back if you can. Press your feet down into your mat. Slowly release your bind. Hands frame that foot. Finding that standing split. Lift the right leg really, really high. If you played with balance on the other side, maybe you do that here. If you didn't play, I invite you to try. All right, you're at home, no one's watching. Probably have a soft couch to fall to. And then finding your hands back down, square your hips. So that right leg's probably gonna drop a lot. Right hip next to left. Take your time to come to that lunge. All right, vinyasa here or downward facing dog. Maybe the left leg stays lifted. As you inhale, gaze towards your hands, roll forward to a plank. All right, take your time. See how slow you can lower to the ground. So maybe I drop my knees. I point my elbows back. I'm taking my time. I'm gonna lower as slowly as I physically can. Once you get down, release your arms down beside you. Bring one cheek to the floor. And then imagining someone had their hand softly on your upper back and between your shoulder blades. See if you can take a nice deep breath there. Really inhale between the shoulders. Let the belly be soft. Exhale. All right, so we'll slowly bring our chin to the mat. Reach the arms out in front. All right, going into our locust pose. So biceps spin up towards the ceiling. All right, Finding both hip bones rooting down into your mat. On your inhale, start to peel your chest, lift your legs up off the floor. All right, and then see if you can lengthen the cervical spine. So maybe I tuck my chin a little bit. Good. See if you can lift your arms higher. Maybe bring them closer together like you had a block between your hands. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, release. Bring your other cheek to the mat. Maybe giving the hips a little wiggle side to side. Then taking one more locust pose. Bringing your chin back to the mat. Arms reach back out in front. Bring those legs together. Press the hips down. Inhale, lift up, locust pose. See if you can spread your toes and reach the ball of the foot back behind you. All right, lift your inner thighs, lift your arms. One more deep breath in. Exhale as you release. Maybe creating a little pillow for the head, maybe bending the knees, windshield wipering the legs. And then from here, we're just going to take a child's pose for a moment. Move really slow. Be mindful. You were just in a back bend. So I'm slowly going to press up. I'm going to keep my knees together this time and reach my hips back. And imagining once again that someone had their hand in between the shoulders here. They've got one hand between the shoulders and one hand on the sacrum. Just let any tension go there. And then we're slowly going to walk ourselves back up. We're going to come to a seated position, Sukhasana, with our ankles crossed. If you have trouble sitting here on the floor, like my knees are pointing straight up to the ceiling, all right, or my back is rounded, grab that blanket or towel, place it back under the sit bones. That's going to help you lift higher, okay? You want that? Are you okay? All right, so let your shoulders melt away. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, slowly start to hinge at the waist, fold it forward. Coming to the, what are these called? Your tippy fingers, the points of your fingertips. Coming to your fingertips. Tenting the hands, just walking them a little bit further away. And then let your head release. Take 3 more deep breaths here. And then we'll slowly start to walk our hands back. Press ourselves back up. All right, we'll take a couple cat-cows here, just tucking the chin. All right, you'll extend both legs for a second, and all I'm going to do is recross my legs with the opposite leg in front. All right, inhale, reach your arms high to the sky. As you exhale, slowly start to fold forward. Really trying to not let the neck shorten here. So notice if the shoulders are shrugging when we're in this fold. On your next inhale, we'll start to walk ourselves back up. We'll extend both legs long. All right, and then just bend that right knee, bringing the sole of the foot in. Do a little turn, so I'm turning towards that left thigh. I'll inhale, reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, slowly folding over the left leg, trying to bring the right front ribs towards that thigh. Once again, just letting the chest melt towards that ankle. You've got the option here to allow that left hand to come inside the foot, and then we'll reach that right arm up and over, allowing the heart to really open up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, rise up. The right hand's going to plant behind you. Press that hand down, lift the hips high, taking another back bend here. Gaze towards the left hand. Lift your hips, lift your heart. As you exhale, slowly return back to that seated position. We're just going to switch out the legs. So left foot comes in, right leg is straight. I want to turn towards that right thigh. Inhale your arms up. Exhale as you fold. Really working that left sit bone down. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, heart reaches towards the right ankle. Taking your time here, same option. Right hand can come to the inside of that foot or ankle. As we reach that left arm up and over, open your heart towards the sky. Maybe even the eyes gaze towards the left hand if that feels okay to the neck. One more deep breath in as you rise up. Plant that left hand behind the hip. Root down into your hand as the hips lift to the sky. Gaze towards that right hand in the air. Then as you exhale, slowly coming back to that seated position. All right, extend both legs long. And then bend the knees. All right, getting into the lower back here. We're gonna wrap our arms under our thighs here. Take a deep breath, inhale, lift your heart. And then as you exhale, maybe I start to walk my heels a little bit further away. Release my head down. Breathing into the space between the last rib and the pelvis. And then release that bind. You're going to take your time to come to your back now. So maybe I scooch my hips, I use my hands to slowly lower down. Take the feet as wide as your mat. Just let the knees fall to touch. Just resetting the spine. And then slowly walk the feet back in. All right, do that slight pelvic tilt. So the top of the pelvis is tilting up. Lower back's pressing into the ground. We'll inhale, lift the feet off the floor. Okay, hands are going to be behind the head. We're going into a bicycle crunch. All right, so you're slowly going to twist to the side as you extend one leg. And then as you switch, go to the other side. Extend the opposite leg. Just going side to side, taking your time here. The closer that leg extends towards the floor, the more challenging. Good, keep going. Side to side for 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. See if you can keep your head and shoulders lifted. You have 5 each side. 4, 3, slow and controlled. 1 more each side, a right and a left. And then release the head. Keep the feet off the floor. Arms down beside. All right, knees stay bent. I'm going to tap that left heel and then bring it back up. stay on the left side. That right leg's not moving. And I've got a pelvic tilt the whole time. Good. Keep drawing your navel in. If you want, maybe your head and shoulders lift. Maybe my hands are off the floor. We have 4 more on the left side. Take your time. If you feel any strain, head comes down. So you can go right into the right leg. Tap the heel, lift. Tap the heel, lift. Notice if your left leg has moved. All right, bring it back so that left knee is over the hip. Last set of 6, head and shoulders, maybe they lift here. 5, Manny, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Good, release. You can let the legs go straight. Reach the arms overhead. Really lengthening. And then slowly bring both knees in towards the chest, rocking side to side here. We'll extend both legs towards the ceiling. All right. Hands behind the head, just a progression from that first bicycle. So if this bothers your back, go back to bent knees. All right. As you twist, one leg drops and then switch. Taking your time, moving with your breath. Just rolling to one side of the shoulder, then the next. So you can keep that chin off the chest. Four each side here. Keep going for 4, 3, 2, 1 and 1. Good. Resting here. We're going to bend both knees again. Hands are down beside the hips. This time both heels are tapping and coming up. All right? Really focusing on lower back. So if I need to, hands can work further under. All right? If it's too much going both knees, heels drop 1 at a time again. All right? We're going to have 12 total if you haven't already started. And just trying to stop the knees directly over the hips. Try not to bring those knees into the chest. Makes all the difference. Maybe the head and shoulders lift if I don't need that support. Keep going. Lower your head and shoulders. Release your legs. Take that full body stretch again. And then all we're going to do from here is just roll to our belly for a second. We're going to take a seal pose. Seal pose meaning my feet are as wide as my mat. My arms are going to be towards the corner of the mat. And I'm just going to start to slowly lift my chest. Stretching out those abdominal muscles we just shortened. See if you can soften those shoulders away from the ears. And then slowly take your time, come back down, then roll to your back. We're going to start to set up for our final pose of Savasana. So make your way to your back. You're welcome to use your blanket if you want. If you enjoyed that opening we did in the beginning of class, Manny, stop it. If you want to be propped back up, just remember that your head and shoulders are off the prop. All right, if you don't want your blanket, don't use your blanket. All right, come down to your back. Slowly bring the knees into the chest one last time. Maybe finding seed pose here. All right, and then as you exhale, slowly start to extend the right heel, then the left. Just allowing the legs to release. The toes can turn out to the sides. And then just start to walk your shoulders under your back, opening up the chest again. And just notice the skull here. So imagine you were kind of getting a massage, and you know how you'd create a little traction for the back of the head. Really try to press the head down and kind of walk it away from your body. This final pose of Savasana is our ultimate expression of lightness. So we no longer have anything left to carry in this space. Just allowing the eyes to close, the gaze behind the eyelids to be soft. And with this last exhale, what is the last thing you'd like to let go, that you'd no longer like to carry with you? And I invite you to set an intention here at the end of our practice, an intention for what you want to bring in, what you want to bring with you when we leave our mat. And just allow your thoughts to come and go. If the mind has started to wander, just come back to that intention. And just noticing if you're gripping or holding on to anything here. Let the fingers release. Let the jaw unclench. And then just slowly start to bring yourself back to this space, back to your mat. Noticing how we've removed the layers of tension, how that weight of the backpack has started to lift. And just start to bring movement back into the fingers and toes. Back into the ankles and the wrists. Maybe the knees and the elbows, maybe reaching the arms overhead. Maybe slowly turning the head side to side as we wake the rest of the body. And there's no rush here, so take your time. Bring the knees into the chest, roll to your side, and then you can press up to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Just sitting up nice and tall. Maybe the ankles are crossed. And just allow the eyes to close. The breath to deepen here. And we'll bring our hands together at heart center. Bow our head. My soul honors your soul. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the light, love, truth, beauty, and peace within you, because it is also within me. In sharing these things, we are united. We are the same. We are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all had a good practice.